make a video about my DDJ-SZ controller from Pioneer and the Magvel fader that it comes with. We got my man William behind the camera.
What's up, guys?
He's 8, so he's got a lot of experience with the camera.
Yeah, I do.
So I had a gig last weekend at Quinceañera. Everything went well. Cutting, scratching, mixing, fading. It was awesome. A couple days later, I came to practice, and I noticed that the fader was real sticky and gunky, and it wasn't moving nice. So I thought, oh man, we got to fix it. Something's wrong here. So I looked online, looked all over the place to try to find what to do, how to fix it, how to take it apart, what to use to clean it. Really couldn't find anything that talked about this specific fader. So I tried to just, regular magnetic fader. So I actually was able to find something from Rane, who did a really good breakdown and teardown with pictures and step-by-step of how to do it for their magnetic fader. So I just basically took those principles and tried to apply them to this fader. So what they recommend to clean was the DDJ-SZ fader lube, and they also recommended a multi-purpose lube from DuPont with Teflon. I couldn't find either one because I have a gig next weekend, and I wanted to get this fixed quick. I ended up buying this. It's a quick dry lube. It's for plastics and basically for anything. And it seemed to work good. I was able to. I used some rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip and cleaned all the gunk out. Put some of that spray. You got to be careful because obviously it's not really meant for something that small. So I had to be real careful with the spray because it comes out kind of fast and strong. But anyway, yeah, I got it. It was working fine. I got the looseness was back and everything was moving fine. What I noticed what was wrong was the cut-in was off. It wasn't manipulating the sound the way, it did before. So like I said, it's a magnetic fader, but if you can see here are the pieces. This is all the pieces right here of the fader. It's all taken apart. So I thought, where's the magnet? So I was looking at this, and Rane talked about, and there's something on the ends, that you have to be careful when you take it apart that they're, affected. So I looked, and if you could see, there's these pieces right here. And I thought that was, maybe those are the magnets. Well, no, they're actually just pieces of, foam or rubber, like bumpers. I said, man, what the heck's the fader? So just, lots of trial and error. I happened to figure out that the magnet is right here. So this is the magnet in this magnetic fader. Now back to this piece. So this piece, it's going to be the back for this demo, but actually, when it's in the unit, it's going to be the front. But for our purposes, it's the back. So there's this little male piece right here, this male part, and there's a female receptacle there on this piece, and obviously that's going to go right on that part. Well, if you look underneath, there's a hole. If you look on this piece, there's also a hole. So you slide it on that little nub, and I'm sure Pioneer or legitimate technicians have some kind of device or tool that they would use to make sure it stays lined up. I'm going to use a clothespin to try to keep that as much in the middle as I can. Now obviously it moves a lot, so it's going to be still tricky, but at least I'll give myself a better shot when I put this back together. Now this piece is going to go in there like that. Now the challenge is going to be getting this lined up so it's in the center. This has a real, it's only a couple millimeter cut in when it's on the sharpest cut. So it's going to be pretty important to try to get that as accurate as I can, and it's going to be kind of tricky. So that might take me a couple of tries. So I'm going to shut off the video and hopefully get it put back together, and then we'll turn it back on, and hopefully everything works. Okay, so I have the fader back together almost completely. If you can show that. You got it? Okay. So Here, can you see the hole? So there's that little hole I was talking about earlier, and I tried to line everything up so that's in the center. You know, it's all lined up as as best as I could get it. Before I broke it down this last time, it seemed to be backwards. The quiet part was in the middle where the cut should be, and that hole was on the top. So that's kind of how I figured out about this hole. So now I'm gonna just put it all back together so you can see what it looks like. We'll plug it in, and hopefully I'll be back to cutting like Cubert. Okay, right side seems to be working okay.
Yep. Looks fine to me.
Alright, so now there shouldn't be any sound. Now, it's on the sharpest cut, so when we just let it go a little bit, hopefully it comes on. Now, go all the way over and it should turn off. I'm sorry, no. That was right. It should be off over here. So that's it. One more thing. You know, there's a tension adjust, and I did it before, and it's not real clear sometimes in the manual. But this has to be all the way to the right, and if you can see inside there, can you see inside? Mm-hmm. It's a white little screw. So if it's to the left and you're trying to adjust it, there's nothing there to adjust. It won't work. So you got to push it all the way to the right, and then you got to use a real flat, small little screw, flathead screwdriver. You stick it in there, and then to the left is tighter, right is looser. So looks like it's working. A success.
Yay!